What is this?
Detail keg. Woo!
That's crazy. Hey everybody, it is Nick from Hawk Pro Detailing, where my goal is to make you a better detailer. And that's why we are joined by Mr.
Dave Barker.
Dirty Dave's
Dirty Dave.
Detailing, Triple D, aka Mr. Detail Keg. How we doing today?
Good, good.
Man, I have wanted to learn about detail kegs for so long. I've seen them online, and today we're gonna put them through the paces. You're gonna show us how these bad boys work.
Show you everything I know. The most frequently asked question is probably, what is a detail keg? They're high pressurized sprayers. High quality pressurized sprayers, that's a better way to put it. So I turned wrenches for a long time, well over a decade, on a lot of heavy equipment, hydraulic ground equipment. I turned wrenches, I designed equipment, engineered equipment. I mean, I've literally done it all. I've spent a lot of time in the field, a lot of time underground. Like it's crazy.
So you're not just some random guy who's like,
no,
I like beer and I like detailing, so let me build some detail kegs.
I mean, I do, but
the random part, though, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
There's a method to this madness. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've just had a lot of experience maintaining, and you can see inside, and perfecting a consistent pressure, pretty much. I mean, with hydraulics, that's all you're doing, except for with a machine. Man, you can have up to like 30 different pressures working in this machine, right? Several pumps, everything, and everything has to be exact or you burn stuff up. And when you burn stuff up on a $2 million piece of equipment, that stuff is expensive.
So you're bringing that experience and that expertise to a simple keg for people to wash cars.
To a home brewing keg.
Love it. Now, how the heck do I use it?
So, with this detail keg, how we're going to set up, how we're going to use it is not being hooked up to a compressor. Doesn't matter what size keg you got, 5 gallon, 3 gallon, you fill it up a little bit over half. So you just take that number, divide it by 2, 5 is 2.5, 3 is 1.5, just go a little bit above.
So I've got a 5 gallon, I'll plan on every time filling it with 2.5 gallons and knowing my...
3 gallons.
So I can do 3 gallons, just a little over half,
Yep.
and then dilute accordingly.
Yep.
With 3 gallons, I can easily get my O&R, wipe out whatever, measured accordingly, and I'm good.
Yep.
Easy,
Exactly.
Okay, perfect.
That's the easiest way I've found anyways.
Okay. So let's say you're getting a 5 gallon, you plan on putting 3 gallons of water in there.
3 gallons of water, so I've got 3 ounces for 1 to 128. Dump it in. We spilled a little bit. Liquid gold right there.
Liquid gold, I know. It's so good.
Woo! Let her go. So we're putting the lid on. You take the lid, you fish it in, put it in. The reason why you have to fish it in is it always doesn't come straight out.
So fish it in means just angle it and then...
But you want to angle the side without the relief in. It's a lot to talk about, but it's the way it naturally goes in. If you try going the other way, you're not going to get it out. And, now I've done it. And you're also not going to get it in, right?
Okay, so you just, kind of the long end?
Yeah.
Ish? I mean, whatever you'll figure it out.
Yeah, whatever you want to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I try to make it way more simple than it probably should be talked about, but okay.
So you put it in, move to the side, and sometimes they get kind of tricky. You just hold the ring and just push it down. The reason why you hold the ring is so it's center inside the hole. Because you can get it sometimes to be kind of cocked a little bit. I mean, it might seal like that, but it's not going to be the best, right? You want it to be nice, square, right in the center, just like that.
So we filled it up with water. We put the appropriate amount of wipeout in there for 3 gallons of a 5 gallon keg. Again, just over halfway full. You've showed us how to put the cap on. I feel like anyone could do this so far, even me, right? So I'm like making sure we're keeping it simple. But now we're going to introduce air. And compressed air, you know, whenever I do videos about air compressors, people are like, well, what kind should I get and how much CFM and PS, you know, like there's a lot of variety out there. So how do we like narrow it down, help people understand what happens next?
If you want to talk about picking a compressor, if you are going to pick a compressor and you are detailing for a living, get a compressor that can run something like a Tornado or something like that. Get a good solid compressor.
Not a little pancake one.
No, it's going to help you out more with detailing, just blowing interiors out, blowing pads out, just dumb stuff like that, more than just with a detail keg. With a detail keg, you can get that to run off of a pancake compressor, even a small compressor that that you would use for like train horns.
So really, I don't need a giant California Air Tools or Rigid or Cobalt, whatever the hell all these like, because you can spend $1,000 on a compressor.
You can
big
spend thousands.
You can get the really nice ones. Yeah, I've seen those that. So you can get crazy with compressors. You don't need to go crazy just to run this.
No, no. Like I said, even a small compressor that you would use for train horns will rock one of these.
With every detail keg, I'm assuming it comes with these green hoses?
Yeah, so the kits.
The kits?
Yeah, all the kits come complete, ready to use with everything except for an air fitting. The reason being is there's so many different types of air fittings, it'd be a nightmare for us to stock them.
This hose, you've put a tip on there. This is not foaming. This is your spray tip.
Standard tip that comes with all the kits. This is also the standard tip that comes with the hoses. When you buy a hose by itself, it comes complete with the tip, a strainer. The strainer are these little guys.
What does the strainer do?
So the strainers, I normally don't run them myself, but the strainer goes right in the tip, and it's just a little filter to a last little protection before everything comes out.
Would you recommend someone run a strainer?
So a lot of guys love them for stuff like waterless washing. It does, it helps, just because you don't want any dirt coming out onto the paint. Stuff for like PPF tint guys, 100%. Their surfaces have to be damn near sterile, right?
Perfect, yeah, for sure. Okay, so we've got the tip on there, and then now we're going to pressurize. Now, what is this bad boy? Is that unique, or is that...
So this is a keg disconnect. You just hook it up.
All right, let's do that one more time so I can... So, hold on. Yep. And it comes with a quick disconnect?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the hoses come complete, ready to rock and roll.
So that's the hose all set up?
Yeah. The
Sweet.
hose is hooked up, ready to go. Again, the reason why I'm hooking the hose up before I pressurize it is to purge all the air out of the hose. Because air does not compress like liquid does. Or air compresses where liquid doesn't, sorry.
Cool.
What I mean by that is if you took two 55-gallon drums, right, and you put a tube in the middle, and you put 10 psi down on this top of this drum, you're going to get 10 psi lift. Where if they were filled with air, you're just going to compress it. It's physics. It's how liquid works.
I think when I listen to this again, I'll understand it, because right now I'm like, blank stare.
So now, this is the air fitting I'm talking about, is that guy.
Oh, okay, so this is the one thing you're going to need to get on your own to make sure it fits your...
Just the silver piece poking out.
And that's to fit whatever quick connect you have, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because there's like 30 different kinds of air fittings, depending on where you live and yeah.
This is the one thing you're going to need to customize to your own air compressor connect.
Or just go take it off your blowgun or something. You don't need that anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
No, actually, yeah. So those come on your blowgun. So you can just take that off your blowgun.
Whatever, yeah.
Whatever already fits your
tool.
compressor. Okay. I'm being a little bit, basic here, but...
So we'll turn that down, too. So you'll take it, hook it up.
Okay, what'd you just do there?
I turn the regulator all the way down.
All the way to the small end of the...
Yeah.
All the way down. Yes, got it. Okay.
So you'll take it. And then to turn it up, you just...
Oh, wait, it's that easy?
Yeah.
And where do you want to stop?
So 150. Oops. I've got 140 in my tank.
Okay. And it's just the real world, right? A lot of people are just going to be where they're at. Oh, I just need to get enough in there.
Yep.
So ideally you get it to 150, you had 140 in your tank.
Yeah.
Which we shut off so it wasn't loud for the video.
Yeah, which
I
could, but...
If you were running it loud, you'd have 150. So you would just... You would just keep it all the way low and then hook it up, turn it until you get to 150 or close.
Yep.
Okay? And then
hook it up.
And that's a quick connect too. That was easy?
Yeah.
And I see the hose starting to get some energy, filling with air.
Building pressure, then you take your hose and you just purge out the air. And you're ready to go.
Oh. And then what about this? You just you could leave it connected if you wanted.
So you can. But since we're going to be running this without being hooked up to air, you want to unhook it from the keg fitting. If you unhook it from here, you're going to release all that pressure.
Okay, so it's okay. You've released some pressure and you're just going to release it right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like that.
I'm asking all these stupid questions so that it's as dummy simple as possible.
Yeah, no, that's good.
And once you get this down, it'll be like you won't even think about it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then this bad boy comes with your kit.
Yeah, this comes in a kit. Or you can buy these separate too, but yeah, every kit comes with a regulator.
Should we get to using this thing?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, baby. All right. Let's talk about the different tip fittings or whatever different tips you have, because I'm the kind of guy that just wants something that works and I'm never going to change it. But a lot of guys out there want to tinker, right? So
yeah.
What are my options if I...
Some guys love refining, love giving it that finesse.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the standard tip. It goes from a fine mist, super fine mist, clear out to a stream. I mean,
oh, damn.
It goes pretty far.
Wait, hold on. Let's get a... How far does that bad boy go?
Pretty far.
That's crazy. Whoa. Let me back up more. How far does that go?
Pretty far.
Whoa. This is a lot of fun. I have a little like pump up sprayer from Carpet Cleaning World that I think is kind of cool, but I don't think I realized what this was capable of. So I can't. Yeah. That was like my mind's being blown. All right.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So we also offer a waterless tip. The difference between the waterless tip, just watch the fan. It's a fine mist, but it comes out super abrupt, super close. Like my hand's barely getting hit, right?
So that's the rinseless, right?
This is the standard tip.
Standard tip.
This is the waterless tip.
Okay. And waterless is...
It's more of, people call it a dry wash, where...
Kind of a quick detail almost.
Yeah, exactly. It's a quick detail on a much larger scale. So this is the waterless tip. It goes from a super fine mist. It goes to kind of a stream too, but the nice point, hang on, is right there, that fine point where it's a fine mist, but you're able to saturate what's out here.
Yeah, your arm is full of water.
Yeah,
the other one, it was like
it's barely misted.
It's almost like steam, where it's just less moisture. I'm not a physicist.
This is able to project the mist where the other one just mists right here.
Why would you want one over the other?
So when you do a waterless wash, a dry wash, whatever you want to call it, you want more of a fine mist on that surface. You don't want a lot of product. All you're getting that product to do is just to land, to lift up that dust, so when you wipe, it all goes into the towel. You don't want any dripping. If anything drips, it's way excessive, way too much.
You're just trying to keep it minimal.
Yep, you're literally you're dusting. You just get it just wet enough to pick up that dust, so that when you wipe, it tucks up into your towel as you wipe. That's it.
Ooh, the wipe and tuck, baby.
Wipe and tuck. And then the last tip, I guess I don't have to demonstrate it. It's a foaming tip.
Okay, we'll demonstrate the foaming tip
After.
with either F-Bomb or Fusion, both of which foam and both of which are from American Detailer Garage.
Yeah, because Wipeout does not foam.
I kind of wish it did.
A little bit, but that's why that Fusion.
Yeah. So that's your standard tip.
This is a standard tip.
Rinseless washing with the detail keg.
And then I take my auto fiber double flips, which they come in a pack of 3. I always use 3 because as I wash, I cycle through them. Some guys will take them, and once they're out of the bucket, they'll put it in another bucket and wash it. I'm not like that. I let it soak in the bucket till I come back and use it again.
Why a microfiber over a big red sponge? Why the double flip? I mean, what do you like about it?
I used the BRS for a long time. The reason why I like a mid, a towel, something better is because the pile is able to get into your cracks, crevices, where a sponge really can't. Like your window trim, your window seal, your mirrors, stuff like that. This pile is able to go in there and kind of scrub in that crack crevice where the BRS just slides right along. This is my Fusion bucket.
But if you had Wipeout in there, you'd still use 3 double flips, and you could do the exact same process.
The exact same everything, except for instead of dumping 5 ounces of Fusion in, you dump 5 ounces of Wipeout in. But it's actually 2.5 ounces, we learned earlier.
Although, if you like it a certain way, I mean, there's more lubrication, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I've always thought the 1 to 256, like 1 ounce to 2 gallons, was like efficient money-wise, but like I always loved the lubrication of the 1 ounce per gallon. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, we'll get to work. We'll shove our keg up here. So we offer a bunch of different lengths of hoses.
That's a 25-foot hose. How do you pressurize a 200-foot hose?
Same way.
I mean, doesn't length of hose affect overall pressure?
No, not with liquid. Liquid doesn't compress like air does. So the longer the hose, as long as that hose is purged, You won't notice any difference with the length of the hose. Because going back to our bucket analogy, if you put 150 psi on this end of this hose, that liquid can't compress. You're always going to have that same pressure coming out.
And we purged the hose initially. Again, how did we do that?
You fill the keg, you close the top, you hook up your hose, you hook up your air to the keg, you hook that up to the keg itself, and then you just purge the hose. You just pull the trigger. The air will shoot to the end because air compresses, right? So the liquid's going to be introduced into that hose. It's going to push. It's going to turn the back end of that hose into a giant balloon. So you just want to purge that balloon out. It's going to be really quick because air compresses.
Boom. So as long as you purge that hose, it doesn't matter the length. Got it. You're about to show us a real way to efficiently hack the whole process, right? What do you do to make sure you got your tip working?
So you adjust it. Oops, no, I hit your camera. So I usually go to where it's about, I'll shoot it over here. It's about the size of a basketball when you're like 2.5, 3 feet away. That way you're able to leave a nice solid pre-soak over everything. This is just for rinseless washing, where you could probably get away with waterless washing, dry washing this, but demonstration purposes, this is my rinseless solid pre-soak. So we'll just go from one end to the next and just lay it down. Things like, I don't know if this, things like gas doors, you can just come and just blast, right?
I'm surprised that you get this much PSI out of this.
It's crazy, huh?
How much PSI is this?
So it's 100, it should have been 150, but we let my compressor sit a little long, so it's 140.
This is like a hose, man.
Yeah, it's quite a bit, man. It's impressive.
Do you recommend the 25-foot hose? It's looking like it's pretty easy to get around this car. What's your favorite?
So most cars, yeah, 25 feet, it's pretty good. The most common's definitely 50 feet.
Because I see this like, okay, I can get halfway around the car, but I could probably use 50 and not be upset about
With
it.
a 50 foot, you could set the keg off somewhere else and work all the way around, where it's got to be pretty close.
You know I'm going to buy a keg after this, right? This thing's crazy.
See, like right there? We're stretching.
Yeah. You could put your keg on wheels, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
Yeah.
What's the difference in price between a 25 and 50 foot? Not that I want to talk price with you. I know that everyone gets weird about that.
Say, give or take $20. That's it.
What do you do for wheels?
So, I should have talked about that before. When the wheels are really dirty, I will come in with a second keg, a second product, either Fusion or F-Bomb, and a second bucket, and treat the wheels all by themselves.
And you could rinse with the wipeout after, right?
Yeah. Rinse it, go back, wipe it down. I do, just because from a business standpoint, efficiency standpoint, it's easier for me to wrestle the one hose and burn that little bit of product than it is to go get a second hose, wrestle that second hose throughout the entire job.
Wait, you mean you use two different kegs, or you just...
So, because you could go back and you could flush it with water afterwards, but then you have to wrestle that second water hose throughout the entire job. Where next to 1 to 128, that's pennies, right?
Oh yeah. Because people are like, I don't want to. Yeah.
From an efficiency standpoint, for me, it makes more sense. Usually, I start where I started soaking down at, so be the back, and you just go back and forth, no pressure at all whatsoever.
Zero pressure.
Zero pressure.
You're letting the wipeout that encapsulated the dirt
do its job. One thing I should mention too is I always leave the back bumper and the front bumpers to very end, because they're the dirtiest, especially here.
So what areas do you leave to the very end? That?
So I always break things up by body panels. So this line, I'll wash from there up. From there down, I'm not going to touch till the very end. The reason being is that's where most of your dirt is. If I take this towel and I go and I wipe all that, I can't use this side of this towel till I get back to my bucket. And efficiency-wise, I'll have a lot of surface area to get back to till I get back to my bucket.
So you started on the top of the hood, or the top of the trunk.
You get the top and the back of the deck lid, and you just keep following it down.
What's this method you're doing with your with like kind of your hands slightly?
So, I guess in my mind, if you move the towel in the same direction the whole time, the dirt debris is going to go into the fibers. That's going to stay there. If you go and you back that up, you just let all that dirt out. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know, but it makes sense, right?
So you're switching position as you go?
So I'm just trying to keep the same direction as I'm washing. I mean, you could go back and wipe, but I just try keeping it as I go.
Okay.
Just efficiency.
So like, because I would just do this. So what is the difference?
So I guess the difference is this right here. Is you're doing this,
Yeah.
or I'm trying to do this.
I don't get it.
So I'm trying to keep the fibers rolling the same way, where you're folding those fibers over on top of themselves.
They're going this wishy-washy, and so
Your fibers are doing this. Where I'm trying to keep the fibers flat one way.
so if this is my fiber, I'm taking it this way, so it's going to be matted down that way. So if I think about the mat, and then I just kind of keep it like this.
Yep.
So would I hold it up like this, or is that just being silly? What about this side of it? Am I just not washing on that side?
I guess I do kind of hold one side up because just naturally it's
And
in
then I
my
can
hand
kinda-
to kind of keep control of it.
And why is that better, you think?
I think it forces the dirt to hold in the fibers better.
Okay. So deck lid.
Then you'll go back, hit the glass.
Have you moved the side of your towel yet?
No,
Okay. Still the same side.
still the same side. With glass, it's a lot
Safer.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're keeping the same side here because you're just doing glass.
Yep, and I'll hit all the rest of this glass quick
With the same side.
with the same side.
You're not moving around too much gunk yet?
Nope.
Science, we're letting it work for us,
Then,
right?
I mean, there's all your dirt right there.
Hold on.
As you can see, there's a line. The only thing that makes sense is because it's the same way. It's cleaner up here than it is down there.
Because you've been...
Because I've been going the same way, catching all that stuff in there the same way.
Okay.
It just makes sense to me.
I'm going to have to watch this a few times to really get it. I love it.
So we'll go to the other side now and keep going.
The other side, now we're doing paint.
Yep.
And we're moving around the car in an efficient way.
And we're going. And we'll just run this all.
So you're all about like side to side.
Yep.
Okay.
And we'll get all that. And then here, we'll open it up.
Oh, no, you didn't.
And now we have two clean sides, and I'm not even in my bucket yet.
I would have been back to my bucket twice already, bro. No, seriously.
I know. That's what I mean about these towels.
Okay.
Sweet. Make sure you massage that crack right there.
Really? You gotta massage the crack.
You gotta massage the cracks. And we'll just keep going.
Dude, I hope if folks don't buy a detail keg, they just learn something from me today, because I'm learning, man. This is great.
That's good. So, and then we have our, well, I guess we'll hit the windshield with the last dirty section.
Okay.
I mean, it's relatively clean, right? But it's dirty.
But it's okay on glass. You're not, like, the risk level is, it's it's glass.
We'll go to our last clean side, and we'll hit this half of the hood and the fender. And this side's washed.
Okay, now what do we do? You dump that back in there?
Drop it in. So, how I keep track of my towels is just like a file. I always dump it in closest to me, and the next one I'm going to grab is this one. When this one's dirty, I'll drop it in here, and I'll grab this one. So, I'm able to cycle through all my towels and let them soak in here long enough. But when I grab this towel, the one I just used, I'll take it, I'll go down here, and I'll scrub it against the dirt block, do some laundry, release all that dirt, and then pull it back out.
So, and then you do that same thing on the other side using just one more towel?
Yep.
And then do you use the third towel, and then what area do you avoid on the trunk? Just or the bumper, just under the lights, basically?
Yeah, so again, I'll go to this body line right here. So I'll get the grill, the headlights, but I'll leave the bumper itself till I do the back bumper. And I'll use one towel to do both of those. Half of it to do the front, half of it to do the back.
And then what do you do? A spray sealant of choice and a quick wipe down?
Yep, I'll go grab some.
Okay. Now it's time for the Dirty Dave wipe down. We've rinseless washed the side of this bad boy. How do you like to efficiently dry the car?
So, most efficient. I mean, you can use 2 towels. I love these amphibians. They're made by Autofiber.
Dude, I did a video about them that they're my favorite drying towels, so we're in good company.
So sweet. So half is a dreadnought and half is a mother fluffer. The mother fluffer is I don't know what GSM is, but it's a high pile, super soft towel.
Dude, it's ridiculously soft. You can flip it back and forth through a whole car. It's great.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I use the dreadnought side to do the actual drying, and then on the glass I go back with the mother fluffer and do some buffing. With everything I wash, I use some sort of a spray sealant, depending on the job. This is Valor.
This video is sponsored by American Detailer Garage. No, Billy's great.
You're welcome, Billy. Send me a check.
No, but you're using it because it works, right?
It is, and I've used it for a long time, and it's, for my detailing operation, it's been a backbone. It really has. So when I use a spray sealant, a lot of instructions say you take it and you're supposed to spray a wet panel, dry it, whatever. I always go into the towel. I feel like I have more control of it in the towel than I do just spraying, right?
Right, I always felt that way too.
So, it's like a couple sprays, couple mists into the towel, and we'll go back over the same direction, just trying to keep the towel flowing in the same flow.
The towel fibers flowing in the same direction on every pass.
Yep.
Okay.
And there's no pressure, you just let it slide and do its thing.
I feel like with rinseless sometimes you see a lot of dirt on your towel as you dry.
Yeah, and you will too, because you're not doing an after final rinse, I guess, to push everything off. But something like a dreadnought, the fibers are so fat that it holds a lot of that dirt without it coming back out and scratching anything. That's why I prefer a double weave drying towel compared to like a waffle weave.
I'm moving away from waffle weave too. I like it for windows, but
that's about it though. That's where that stops.
You're using the same side still?
Yeah.
Are you sure that's safe?
Pretty sure.
Cool.
I mean, I push them pretty far.
Dang, dude. This is efficiency, like, personified.
But I mean, if you look at the fibers, like there's nothing in there yet, right?
Mm-mm. It looks wet, that's about it.
That's it.
Yeah, it just looks dark because it's wet.
Damp, but that's it.
I mean, it wasn't a crazy dirty vehicle, but...
Generally, with an amphibian, I really haven't needed 2 amphibians for a car. So even if you do keep going, you should be able to dry everything, including the glass,
I feel the same way.
with just the one.
Yep. Even when I'm inefficient, I can get a whole car out of these.
Yep.
For sure. Well, Mr. Dave, thank you for your time today. If people want to learn more about Detail Kegs, where can they find you?
Detail Kegs on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or Dirty Dave's Detailing, Instagram, Facebook.
What about if they order one and have issues? Are they pretty easy to diagnose locally, or can you help walk them through? I know a lot of folks are like, okay, what if something goes wrong?
So as far as issues, I'll be completely honest. I've had a handful of issues over hundreds of kegs. They are bomb-proof. But the few issues I have had, oh yeah, I've helped guys out 100%. It's not an issue at all. That's why I'm here.
Better for mobile, better for shops.
Depends on how you're set up, because you can get a larger keg on reels in a shop. That's going to be just as efficient as a dude carrying a detail keg around with a hose, right?
And if I have a giant ass detail keg with all-purpose cleaner in there, like F-bomb that I foam, look, I mean, am I going to have enough PSI to rinse it all off and do what I need to do?
Oh yeah, there are guys that use kegs to traditional wash. I don't, but they're using it to foam, to wash, to rinse. All detail kegs.
That's awesome, man.
It is. It's neat.
Mr. Dave, thank you for your time, sir.
Of course. Thank you.
That's been great.